ranking.
Let's break down the tail of the tape in the Shane Strickland-Sami Callahan fight. First thing that'll jump out to fight fans is the height difference. Strickland's going to have a reach advantage, not only with his arms, but with his legs as well. But I also notice the 30-pound weight advantage for Callahan. If he can get underneath Strickland's reach, he's going to make things really difficult for Swerve. Last, the style. Hybrid versus brawling. Place your bets. This fight's going to be good.
The following bout is one fall. Introducing first, accompanied the ring by the Death Machines. Weighing in at 200 pounds, from Annapolis, Ohio, Sami Callahan.
Stuff that nightmares are made of, Matt.
Absolutely. Many feel that Sami Callahan is the most dangerous man in our sport right now, and that is a grave statement to make considering all the great talented fighters that are in our sport.
Here's a match that has been weeks in the making. Shane Strickland, a former world champion, the former world champion. He said, forget about a rematch with Low Key. I'm going after Sami Callahan.
And that tells me a lot about Shane Strickland, but right now I think the focus is on Sami Callahan. Words used to describe him have been reckless, like I said, dangerous, violent. That's gotta be in Shane Strickland's mind.
One of those dangerous individuals that we've ever seen in Major League Wrestling. He made even more dangerous with the Death Machines following his lead everywhere he goes.
Look at that. Normally you'll see fans get in the face of a fighter and so on and so forth. This kid here, this guy would not stand a chance against Sami.
Stay away from this guy.
The only thing that is giving this young man confidence is he knows that there's a lawsuit if Sami touches him.
And his opponents, weighing in at 191 pounds, from Tacoma, Washington, Shane Swerve Strickland.
I love this song, Tony. You gonna sing it with me? Come on. You're not a Shaka Khan?
No. Shane Strickland was dethroned by Low Key, who got into what was a very bizarre bounty with Selena De La Renta. Ended up costing him the title.
Like you said, that Shane has decided to forego his rematch to a much later date. It tells me that this young man, Shane Strickland, has a former military background. He wants to earn his way back into the heavyweight title picture, but I think that Strickland knows he has to go back into that picture with a mean streak, become a different kind of fighter. Look at Shane Strickland, look at Sami Callahan. A fight we shall have.
Yes, we are. And the fact, as Callahan's still having problems with some of these fans here. What in the world? Just turning his back to Shane Strickland.
And there are others that claim that Sami is legitimately bona fide, psychologically unstable. And that in and of itself is dangerous in our sport.
Well, I think the eye test would tell you that.
Ain't nobody told me makes me happy. Come on, no,
I'm just not as cool as you, man.
yeah, okay, if that's cool. Hey, it says a lot because Strickland is infectious. And people want to be around him. They want to cheer him. Sami is the antithesis of that. But the fighting styles, the clash of the fighting styles, once the bell rings, we'll break it down. That, to me, is what is going to be intriguing.
Watch out, Strickland had his back turned. I think Strickland did a very smart thing. Just wait for Callahan to get back in the ring. Let him do his antics on the outside. I mean, it's going to have to happen in the ring if he wants to win this.
Sami has to get in there first.
Yep. The thing about Shane Strickland is he's always been a very focused, very serious guy when it comes to being in the ring. And Sami Callahan is all excited about this. Whose house? Not Swerve's house. It's Callahan's. Mind games, right?
Absolutely, because once the bell rings, which it just did, once you're in between those ropes, that stuff doesn't matter. Look, last week we saw a middleweight champion crown, right? Shane Strickland reminds me of Tommy Hitman Hearns. Long arms, long reach. Sami Callahan, he's more compact and explosive. This is going to be a very, very intense fight.
And there's the thumbs up, thumbs down. We've seen that so many times from Callahan. And here we go. Oh!
Here we go. Right away, long legs came into play.
Shane's going to go outside. Missed that. Oh, boy. Gosh. I don't think you want to be outside against Callahan. I really don't. I think just stay in the ring. Oh, uh-oh. There's the knee. And he's going to, anyway, a baseball slide drop kick. And it's a knee that many people say that if it wasn't for the knee injury, he may still be the world heavyweight champion.
I think that Strickland needs to not think about that and worry about the task at hand. Now, Tony, question for you. Is it safe to say that Shane Strickland is the better pound-for-pound wrestler than Sami Callahan?
There's no wrestler, if you use that term. Absolutely it is.
But is Sami a better fighter than Shane?
That's a good question. What does being bizarre? Oh!
There's the answer to the question right there.
Right. And that is going to completely change this thing around. Oh! Picked him up for a shoulder breaker. 1, 2, and he almost won it within the first 3 minutes of the match.
Yeah, but let's not lose sight of what led to the double clutch shoulder breaker. It was a low blow. Call it what it is. And now, listen, we talked who's the better wrestler, who's the better fighter. There's a psychological advantage here, and Sami has it.
Right. Tearing right at the knee that time, trying to tear that knee pad off. That is obviously the right knee, you can see is wrapped up.
I'm noticing, and we'll see how it comes out later on, every time that Sami went for the knee, Shane noticed Sami's body position. There's a ton of submissions that are there when someone goes for your leg. So let's see if Shane will take advantage of Sami.
Ooh. Tied up in the rope and kicking. Oh! That time driving the kneecap, if you will, down. Yeah. Driving it down, and you can see that Strickland right now can't even get off his feet, or can't even get on his feet.
Trapping the leg in a unique position. Reminiscent of Lucha Libre legend Negro Navarro, for those that know it. Ooh. Roll through, modification there. Thought he was going for an Indian deathlock, but he's not. You can see the placement of Shane's foot is in the crook of his own knee, and then Sami is putting pressure,
pushing and then pulling back on that leg that's crossed. So there's pressure on 2 points here. Not only the knee, but the ankle.
Let's see if the long arms of Shane Strickland can save him here. He's got to have a full hand on the ropes, and he does.
Yeah, damage has been done, though. Plenty of damage has been done here.
And years and years ago, when our sport was a different sport, normally fan favorites would go to the ropes. They would out-wrestle the rule breaker, but that tells me that Shane may really be injured here.
And he's in the clutches of a figure 4 here.
Yes, and the only reason that there is not a submission here is because Sami does not have this figure 4 on completely. You'll notice that it's the calf of Sami pushing down on Shane's foot. It should be the crook of Sami's knee. That's the difference. A few inches is the difference here.
And Shane's trying to turn this over. Actually, he's just trying to pry himself out of it.
If he turns him over, it changes the pressure. It puts the pressure on the guy that's inflicting the hold. In this case, it would be Sami Callahan. There it is. There it is. Now the pressure is on Sami.
And Sami going to the ropes, and there he is. Callahan is there, and the referee calling for the break.
The referee's going to have to untangle these two.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Strickland worse for the wear out of that one.
And I mean, listen, I'm no anatomy expert, but I know that there's your ACL, your MCL, your PCL. There's ligaments and tendons in there. Any of them could be popped right now. We don't know.
What do you got, bitch?
Sammy just trying to play with his. Oh, well, he asked for it.
Yeah, sure.
And,
Look and see. A lot of fans will always ask me, how come fighters choose to throw forearms and elbows? The reason that you don't choose to throw a punch is because you could easily break your hand early on in the match. And now, look, Shane is trying to manipulate the fingers. That's illegal in Greco-Roman wrestling.
Very well said. Manipulate the fingers, or just try to break his hand.
Yeah, well.
Come on.
Tomato.
Yeah, right.
Nice weave under,
Yeah.
through, reverse. Wow. This was a palm strike and a clothesline in one. Come on, Shane.
He's trying to pull himself back up again, and no one has more heart than Shane Strickland in Major League Wrestling.
I know we're supposed to be impartial, but there's a part of me that roots for a fighter like Shane Strickland. He has a military background. He's made his sacrifices. He's a great fighter. He's bringing a new age style into Major League Wrestling. It's hard not to get behind a guy like that.
And put all that together, not only that, he's a great kid. He really is. He's a very personable young man, and he is going now toe-to-toe with Sami Callahan here. Oh, boy. And he kicked him with a bad leg that time.
Tells me that the adrenaline is starting to build for Shane Strickland. Oh! He went to a high-risk maneuver, and that's why it's called high risk, because if you miss it,
it's a mistake. It turns into a mistake, and the referee is checking now on the knee to see if he can continue. I don't know what the referee can find out here.
watch Sami.
Oh!
Running boot scrape.
Wow. The referee just actually gave Sami Callahan an open shot there.
Inadvertently, I have to imagine. So now the theme of this fight changes, because before the injury, we talked about all the tools that Shane has. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Shane looked like he was going for a cutter there.
Now rolls him up. There's your cutter.
But no cover.
Right, and this could be a big mistake here.
It looks like Strickland is angry.
Yeah.
And I've heard it said an angry fighter is indeed a sloppy fighter, and I don't think Strickland can afford to make any mistakes here.
Should try to be focused on trying to win the match, and I'm not trying to coach him up here, but, well, he's got Callahan down again.
Nice.
Yeah, picks him up. Look at this. Callahan just trying to pound his way out of this hold. This clutch. Oh!
Nice throw there, a side salto suplex.
1 and 2. He got a 2. Yeah, it's going to take more than that to keep Callahan down.
Now, this may be trivial, but let me ask you. Sami has a lot of gear on, a lot of clothing on. As the match wears on and it gets hot and the sweat weighs in, is that a disadvantage in your opinion?
Well, I would think with most, but I'm not so sure with Callahan. I mean, he's almost got like a flak jacket, right?
I mean, there's just so many aspects to the unique fighting style of professional wrestling. There's things that'll happen here that won't happen in a boxing ring, won't happen in an octagon or an MMA kind of fight. Oh, looks like Shane's going for a half and half there. Suplex, Sami blocked it just by lowering his center of gravity. Our amateur wrestlers out there will know changing levels is so important.
And he's just trying to pound right through the back.
Here we go.
Half Nelson pick up and a roll through that time.
Cross the legs, which makes it so much harder to kick out.
Especially when your knee is damaged.
Here, Dragon Sleeper position, switches him around.
Whoa.
Rope assisted neck breaker.
1, 2, it's not it yet.
I saw what you saw. Shane's eyes were closed.
Right. Right.
He's almost out there.
Well, Callahan trying to get himself a second win, or maybe he's just frustrated. But both are trying to get up here. There's just something about that maniacal look of Callahan when he's coming out of holds or he's coming back. Just a frightening look about him. The worldwide desperado.
Maybe he'll come to his senses here. Forearm strike.
Oh, Shane used the bad leg that time to kick him, and then Sami with the right cross, and again, a knee.
That's a great point that you bring up. Is that going to be worth it?
Oh, Oh, both go down.
Look how Shane's body is contorted.
Right. Left leg straight out. Or the right leg straight out, the left leg hooked in. Callahan, neither man can try to crawl across for a cover here.
But here's the one thing I notice is that Shane knows where his opponent is.
Sure.
Sami does not.
There's the 10 count administered by the referee.
10 count to get to their feet. If not, the match is ruled a no contest.
How about Callahan popping up? Surge of adrenaline as you mentioned before.
It's a sense of urgency. Sami perhaps just told on himself, I'm in jeopardy here, and perhaps Shane is astute enough to realize that.
Shane with a right cross, Callahan with a forearm shot.
You gotta watch, sometimes the point of the elbow can get you on the eyebrow, and you get cut open, and it drips into your eye and mixes with sweat. Bye-bye.
That was spoken from experience. Meanwhile, as we're talking, he kicks him in the bad knee again. Because that is the point of attack apparently here.
We could say whatever we want about Sami, but no one's ever gonna call him stupid.
No, absolutely.
He knows what he's doing, but then again, so does Shane Strickland. That's the type of major league fighting that you'll see here on MLW.
There you see Callahan using the barricade to pull himself up. Well, I thought Strickland was going to try to come from the inside out with him. Oh.
He went from the inside out, but it was a courtesy of the right hand.
Okay, that right knee crossed the apron, as you see, and we talked in an earlier episode about how hard that apron is.
Ooh! Now that, I'm going to say that caught the hamstring, but it looked like it may have been up a little higher up the leg there. And if you remember earlier on in the match, Sami hit Shane with a low blow.
Right. So you think it would behoove Shane to get out of that corner, go back to the middle of the.
Well, wait a minute here. Fireman's carry is designed for salvation, but I don't think that there'll be any salvation here. Whoa!
The spine right across the apron of the ring, and there goes Shane again, climbing up top.
Wow, adrenaline, it's a great drug.
Wow, where does he get this from? The fans are chanting Swerve, Strickland is up, still favoring that leg. Double stomp! On to Callahan in a cover, 1, 2, and how did Sami Callahan escape that?
And now what about what's going through Shane Strickland's mind? That's a signature move. Shane Strickland has won so many matches with that move, and now if Shane knows he's not 100% and his best weapon isn't there, his fastball just doesn't have it tonight, what's he gonna go to?
Absolutely. Shane trying to get up, Callahan still down. Referee still asking Shane about that leg. I think we can say that he's been able to shut out the pain quite well in this match. What's he doing now?
I think he's getting pissed off.
Getting?
And that we talked about it. You talked about how Shane Strickland comes off losing the MLW Heavyweight Championship, forgoes the rematch, and we said that Shane knows that he's got to get a fire under him. He's got to get, a pardon the expression, a hair on his ass, and that's what he needs to do right here and right now.
It looks like he's got that fire underneath him.
Oh, that fire may have just been put out with the saliva of Sami Callahan.
Callahan wants more punishment. He wants more
Look at that.
Okay, we don't need that shot.
Well, you know what? I think Shane needs that. I do. I want to see an angry, ugly Shane Strickland.
Oh, he led with that right leg, which was the wrong thing to do. Powerbombed him out. 1, 2.
Turns around, and he hooks it in. Sami normally likes to get the stretch muffler, which puts the leg over his head, but instead he's opting here for a half crab on the healthy leg.
Right, and now into an STF crossface. Well, he doesn't have it across the face. He's got it underneath the chin.
Ooh, look at the... Oh, bodies don't bend that way.
I really think that Strickland's fortunate here. It's not the bad leg that's hooked underneath.
And look at Sami trapping the arm and pulling back now. It's like a modification on a Regal stretch or a crossface here.
No.
And that's illegal, and the referee has to make him break the hold there. Fish hooking is illegal. That may have been a mistake on Sami's part.
Okay, Sami going back to and he rolled up by Shane Strickland. 1, 2.
Oh,
and boy, Callahan.
One-legged man, you know.
Yeah, one-legged man. You're right, but Callahan can still escape. And Strickland just trying to, best he can, pull himself up. And Sami Callahan, look at the minute look that he's got. It's what nightmares, like I said, are made of.
You know, a lot of fighters won't take matches against Sami because he's dangerous and your career changes. And it says a lot when you're trying to injure someone. This is how Shane Strickland feeds himself and his family. And there it is.
Yes.
Is that a short arm scissors? Yes, it is. A painful submission hold. A bicep cutter.
Oh, here come the death machines. What in the world? Oh. And now he's got his leg hooked on the top rope that time. Here's a roll-up, taking advantage of it. 1, 2. And he had the tights, I believe, and Strickland still got out of it.
He's going for a pile driver again. No.
And he flipped it over the other way. 1, 2. No, back the other way.
These two two fish out of water here.
Wow, we are seeing a hell of a match here, guys. And a 2 count, trying to bridge out.
Shane's height is the reason that and look at Sami's strength. Up.
Trying to backslide, maybe. Yes, it's Shane trying to counter. Oh! And just as simple as stomping on the back of the bad knee.
Say what you want, that was a great counter.
Yes, it was.
Oh, it was a spike pile driver. Look at Shane's leg.
1, 2, 3. Just at the time, as you see the death machines,
Sami Callahan.
it looked like